Thank you, Josh. Good evening, gentlemen. This should be a lot of fun, but a serious topic to begin. Mr. Brown, should the U.S. send military ground troops to either Syria or Iraq to take out the militant group ISIS?
Well, I think we need to step back and see where did Al-Qaeda and ISIS emanate. It used to be Al-Qaeda in Iraq. They've actually morphed into being bigger and badder. They're now bank robbers and terrorists, and they're actually, when they go into a new area, they take money, they rob banks. They now have resources, tools, equipment that they've actually gotten from us in our support of Syria and Iraq. And they want to export terrorism around the region and the world. Their goal is to actually march down Pennsylvania Avenue and put a flag in the White House. So what's our goal? Our goal is to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, Vice President Obama, Vice President Biden, and Senator Shaheen were in Portsmouth yesterday saying they're going to chase these people to the gates of hell. Well, we've seen visions of those gates right now in New Hampshire with two of our own who have long and strong ties being beheaded. We have to have everything on the table because it's very serious, and I hope we can go further and talk about it. Thank you. Everything on the table, Mr. Rubins. Yeah, we heard from Scott Brown. We've been hearing about war resolutions in the House, at least, maybe even in the Senate. Are ground troops part of the equation here to take out ISIS?
Not American ground troops. We clearly have to hold ISIS accountable for its barbarous attacks against Americans, and we have to defend America against terrorism. But we don't know in this part of the world who our friends and enemies are, and I do not want to have this country engaged in a third Iraq ground war. What we do know is Jeanne Shaheen voted 1 year ago, exactly to date, to bomb Syria and help ISIS. We were arming and training and funding ISIS, this country, as recently as a year ago, a few months ago. So we need to change policies. This approach we've taken of attempting to convert this part of the world to nation build has failed. What we do need to do is engage regional powers, powers like Turkey, like Iran, like Saudi Arabia. They have the means, they have the resources to conduct both air power and ground power to contain ISIS.
Just very, very quickly, though, you're okay with the airstrikes, though?
I don't think the United States ought to be doing the airstrikes. We may have a role in command and control. We have a role, and we certainly are pants are down. We're weak on the-ground intelligence, and we ought to use that intelligence if there is disclosed threats by ISIS against.
We're going to move on, Mr. Smith. Let him win.
Mr. Smith, of course, this is a very personal, visceral issue here in New Hampshire. One, James Foley, of course, from New Hampshire, who was executed, and then, of course, the other journalist who went to the high school here in Meriden. Do you see a need for ground troops to take out ISIS?
By the way, I knew the Foley family. They were from Wolfboro originally. No, absolutely not. No ground troops in that region. Look, the Shiites and the Sunnis have been fighting since Muhammad died, vying for power. 632 A.D. was his death, and they've been fighting ever since about who's going to be his successor. We cannot win a ground war there. However, let me just say this. If they decide that they're going to try to do something to us, either here in the United States or some of our assets or resources or personnel somewhere, then we have every right to take action to defend ourselves and our allies or whoever else or whatever else they attack. And it would make, in my view, if I had anything to do with it, it would make shock and awe look like a Sunday school picnic.
Let's make sure I understand Bob Smith's position on this then. If ISIS wants to expand, take over a large part of the Middle East, you're okay with that as long as they don't attack the United States or make plans to?
Not exactly. Look, this is a regional, right now, Jim summed it up very well with what he said. The region is a mess, and it's a mess because we don't have a foreign policy that works over there. First we support one group, then we support another group, and we don't, by the President's own admission, he doesn't have a policy. But unless they threaten us directly, no, we should not put ground forces in that area.
All right, Mr.